but I would like to introduce my co-chairman in this, Assemblyman Al Graf, to say a few words.
Thank you, Joe. Listen, the picture that people used to have of a heroin addict, the guy laying in an alley with a needle in his arm, is not the heroin addict of today. Today, the heroin addict of today are your children, your grandchildren, your neighbor's child, your neighbor, your friends, your family. Okay, this is, it's an epidemic, and we've been handling it. There's a lot of holes in the system, and what we've attempted to do with this report is fill the holes. We went from Long Island to Plattsburgh, from Albany out to Buffalo, and the stories were all the same throughout the entire state. And the bottom line is, in this report, we try to look at a different approach to how treatment's supposed to go. If you look at some of the things that's going on, Medicaid reimbursement, okay, is so low that many of the detox centers have closed up. Many of the hospitals have closed their detox centers. Insurance companies are paying for 3 days of detox. Think about that. What we've heard over and over again, it takes you at least 7 days to withdraw from heroin. And how they describe it is, picture the worst flu you've ever had in your life. Multiply that by 100 and understand that you feel pain to the marrow of your bones. And the second you shoot up, all of that goes away. So we know that if it takes 7 days to withdraw from heroin, and the insurance companies are paying for 3, they are turning around, kicking the person out of the hospital at the height of their withdrawal. What do you think is going to happen? You know, it's inevitable. The other nightmares we heard were for people under a certain age, there is no detox, or very limited detox. We had parents come up and tell us about a 14-year-old girl who was withdrawing from heroin, and the hospital told her, I'm sorry, she's too young for us to detox. You have to bring her home and detox her yourself. Okay? It's unacceptable. We have people that are brought back from ODing with Narcan. The hospitals are stabilizing them and releasing them a couple hours later. There are so many holes in this system, okay? And the bottom line is, this is, I mean, it's destroying families. It's destroying individuals, right? It's leading to higher crimes. We have to get real about this. We have to get serious about this. We have to treat this in a different way. Detox, rehab, and aftercare all go together. We cannot afford not to make this investment. It's costing us so much more. When we went out there and we talked to people, we listened to people, and what you see in this report is basically what we heard. We're looking at solutions, we're looking at problems. And now the governor put out his proposal, and he put out an outline. What this report will serve to do, or serve, is to fill in that outline. You look at sober houses on Long Island that are nothing more than warehouses for people, all right? So, I mean, there's a lot of work to do here. We've tried to put it in a report. The nightmares are out there. I don't know if I just mentioned, we had 3 young men testify in front of us that were in recovery. And they were trying really hard. One of those men passed away, okay, since the time that we did this report, from an overdose. So look, it's time to get serious. It's time to look at this from every angle. It's time to turn around and start making the investment, because if you know, and people will sit there, and the last thing, and I'll let others talk, one of the things that I heard out there was from somebody in the insurance industry. And they said, great, you're going to put this on the backs of the insurance companies. And my response, and he said, how about personal responsibility? And my response was, let's talk about personal responsibility. You're paying for multiple ambulance rides. You're paying for multiple ER visits. You're paying for multiple detoxes. You're paying for multiple rehabs. And it's never going to end because we're not doing it right. Okay? Wouldn't it be cheaper to do it right the first time? All right? Look, we owe this to our families. We owe this to our communities. We owe this to our state. I would ask the press out here, take a look at the report we put together. All right? There's going to be legislation to follow. But this is something we got to get serious about. It's not a Republican issue. It's not a Democratic issue. It's a state issue. Families are suffering. All right? Now it's time for the state to act because the state's the only one that can act here. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Joe.